guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming out with another story time. Same clothes, guys. So I just thought about this and I'm like, I'm gonna make another story time real quick before I gotta go to class. You feel me? And as you can tell by this title, this is the time I met TYSON Beckford. Honestly, yeah, I'm just gonna have to get into the story because we're gonna talk about how I met him, where I was at, and all that other good stuff. So if you'd like to see how this all happened, keep on watching. Alright, so we're just gonna jump right on into this. I turned 21 last year, and for my birthday I really wanted to go to Miami. That was just like a thing I've always wanted to do. You're finally 21, you want to turn up and have a good time. Bet. So I did my taxes, girl. When my taxes came back, I got some money, so I went and got Airbnb. So it was like a pretty big apartment. It had 2 bedrooms, a pull-out couch. It was really nice, a balcony. Like, I loved it. It was so beautiful. Brickell, Miami too is like super expensive. If you know Brickell, if you know Miami, Brickell is expensive as crap. That whole area is just money, just lots of money, and I had no idea. I'm not from there at all, so I chose Brickell, the first Airbnb that I could afford, and it was in Brickell, Miami. Cool. We didn't even go for my actual birthday. We went, I think it was the weekend after my birthday, if I'm not mistaken. So I think my birthday fell on like a Tuesday or something, so it was that weekend afterwards. I had all my close friends take off, and me and my friend Kaylee, she drove, she's a trooper. She drove her car, and we went to Brickell, Miami. First of all, I'm gonna hit stuff that happened to us on the way. On our way there, we ended up getting into an accident. Those roads are so crazy. It's always so busy in Miami. Just everyone's just trying to get somewhere all at the same time, or it's just always like that. I'm not sure. We are driving, we're on the highway, and it's like bumper to bumper. And then while we're sitting there, we're just like talking, listening to music, whatever. We just jump forward because this lady just rear-ended us. So we pull over. I'm like, this is stop and go traffic. How do you rear end somebody in stop and go traffic? Like, are you paying attention? You're not even going that fast. You shouldn't even be going, you're not going more than 5 in stop and go traffic. But whatever. Rear ends us. So we get out the car. Do you know what this girl said to us? She said, she kind of had an accent. I'm not sure where she was from. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I fell asleep behind the wheel, so I rear-ended you. You fell. I'm like, okay, I would have came up with a different lie, honey. Like, you should have thought of a different lie before you just came up and said, yeah, I fell asleep. Like, are you okay? Do you need to, you should pull over and go to sleep. Why are you on the road if you're tired and you're falling asleep in stop and go traffic? How do you fall asleep? I mean, I guess because you're sitting there and you get, but how are you falling asleep behind the wheel at all? That's just, I'm flabbergasted. Flabbergasted. I just wanted to put that story in there because that was just the fun, like, that was one of the funniest parts of that whole weekend. Like, I am sorry I hit you, I fell asleep. Anyway, that happens, we leave her. There wasn't, I don't think, it probably was a little dent and it was something that could be fixed easily. So we didn't get her information or anything. We were just like, you need to be very careful. Like, if you're tired, you should probably get off the road. And she's like, yeah. Well, we got back in the car. So, and then we were looking behind us to like, make sure she was still okay. She ended up staying on the road, but she stayed like, in the stop and go traffic, she stayed like miles behind us. Like, she did not want to be nowhere near our car anymore. And I'm like, fine with that, you need to be careful. Don't be hitting nobody else and then telling them, I'm sorry I fell asleep. Like, what? Anyway, after all that happens too, another little side story, we ended up getting lost. We've never been to Brickell, Miami before. We're not familiar with that whole area at all. So we ended up pulling into, I'm pretty sure we ended up in Little Havana, I'm pretty sure that was. We were so, like, and then I think it was just the wrong address. The Airbnb had the wrong address on the website, so I just put that in. It was completely wrong. I'm like, where are we? I'm messaging this lady. She's having a hard time messaging me back, and I'm like, she didn't want to call me. Like, the email, I mean, I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, if I text you, and it's like this, I'm on my way. I texted her before we even left. We were in Orlando at the time. Before we even left Orlando, I'm like, we are on our way. We should be there in like 4 hours, 4.5 hours at the most. I'm gonna be texting you. And even that initial text, it took her forever to even reply, so I should have known that she was gonna give me a hard time. Anyway, we're lost in Little Havana. I'm trying to tell this lady where I'm at over the phone. I'm like, blah 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 blah, and she's like, Little Havana? You guys are like still 45 minutes away. And I'm like, we're not even in the right area. I felt so bad for my friend. I'm like, I am literally making you drive all over the place. Just because I put in the wrong address. I should have just asked the lady for the address, but I thought the address was correct on the Airbnb website, so my bad. But yeah, no, it is my bad. But that's it for that story, like the little side stories. I just thought those was really funny. We ended up getting there like 5.5 hours in, and if you live in Florida, you know it usually doesn't take that long unless you're in the freaking panhandle, whatever, in that up there, more north. So it shouldn't have taken that long, but it really freaking did. And the accident, you just know, ew, gross. Anyway, we're gonna get into the good part here. Our first few nights, we were just hanging out. We would walk around looking for places to like drink at. Like, you know, I was 21, I'm trying to drink a little bit. So we ended up going to like places like Blue Martini. I think that's probably the only place me and my friend Kaylee ended up going to a lot, because that was the only place we really knew. I mean, where the apartment was, we were able to walk to literally everything. It was like downtown Brickell, so if we wanted to go to the mall, it was like right down the street. We could walk there. But anyway, I think this was either our first or our second night. Our first night, me and Kaylee were probably by ourselves. And then the rest of the nights, I had friends come and go and stuff. Anyway, I think it was the first night, actually. I really don't remember. But anyway, we were walking around. Well, my friend Madison, she wasn't 21 at the time. I think she was 19 at the time with a fake ID. We both had the same fake IDs, but when I turned 21, obviously, we got rid of that one, girl. I can drink now. But she still had her little, I think it was South Dakota ID with a bunch of Floridian IDs. So we would go to, like, we went back to the Blue Martini, which I love the Blue Martini. I want to find one around more closer to me because that was just so much fun. But anyway, we go there. We have some guys standing at the front and they're like, hey, you guys want to come party with us? Whatever. I'm like, yes, we do. Let's go. So, and they're like talking about having a section or just buying us drinks, whatever. So I'm like, that's a bet. Let's go. We try to get in line with them. And then my friend, obviously, Maddie, she can't get in because everyone's looking at this ID and they're like, we're not letting you in, girl. Like, here's your ID back, run along. But we're like, okay, bye, free drinks. We will go somewhere else. We end up leaving, and I'm starting to talk really fast because my battery's about to die. We ended up leaving, and we're walking around the street trying to find clubs. We're on our phones trying to find like places that are not poppin', but won't be like, that are fun, poppin', but like not too strict with underagers using fakes, whatever. So we're walking in the street, and then we just see a group of chocolate men just sitting in front of this, I don't want to say hookah place. I don't know what they were doing. It's like a bar, but there wasn't a lot of people there. I feel like it was just them. They probably rented it out for themselves. Just a group of men just sitting there, a bunch of chocolate men. So we walk by and they say, hey ladies, like, y'all look great. Hope you have a good night, whatever. They were super nice. So us being like, we're not from this area, we're like, yo, what's around here? Like, what can we do right now? We really want to do something fun, but we don't know. We're not from here. We tell us where to go, basically. Where can we go? They're like, come sit down. Like, we'll sit and talk to you. So it was like, I want to say there was like 10 or 11 men. I say men. They were all pretty grown. Like, honestly, 35 and up, for sure. And we're all sitting down. We're like laughing. They're smoking cigars. We're getting, I don't know if we had drinks or anything. And then, like, I see my girls trying to, like, kind of acting weird and stuff. And I'm like, it's cool. Like, we're just trying to figure some stuff out. And then we're going to walk away. So they ended up telling us places we can go and whatever. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And, you know, some of us are having side conversations with whoever we were sitting next to. I'm not sure. I honestly have no idea who I was talking to or whatever, what was going on. But we ended up walking away. We're like, thank you. You guys have a good night, whatever. We appreciate the help. We walk away. And then all my girls start tripping out. And I'm like, what's going on? Did I miss something? Well, me and Kaylee, we're sitting there like, what's going on? My friend Madison was just like, that was TYSON Beckford. So that means all of those people were probably, I think one of them were like retired NFL players. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, why didn't you guys say anything? Like, I would have been more cool and more like hot, sexy. I don't know. Try and be like more presentable. I was just chilling. I was like, yeah, thanks, whatever. Like, yeah, we cool. Like, just being like normal, but I would have been like more cute normal, you feel me? If I would have known that these guys were like who they were. Yeah, it turns out one of them was TYSON Beckford, and I honestly, like, I'm bad with faces. I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, he didn't say his name, no one really said their name. Like, we were all just like trying to figure out what we were doing, and they were just helping us out with that. But yeah, she's like, that guy was TYSON Beckford, and I was like, at first, obviously, I'm like, who's that? I'm young, so obviously I was like, I don't know who that is. Like, and then so they had to show me pictures, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, he modeled, like, that was him. And I'm like, oh, we're going back. We gotta walk back. Like, I have to redo all of that. We need to redo that one time. So we go back. I mean, after we try, because obviously it was my birthday and I still want to do something fun. So we're walking around looking for something to do. Ended up not finding anything. So we walk back in that general direction. And we just start talking to them again, conversating. I feel like and then I think females started showing up, like their actual female friends. And we're just like some 19, 20, and 21-year-olds. Like, we looked pretty out of place. So we ended up leaving. But I was just like, I met a famous person on my, like, on the weekend of my birthday. And I had no idea who I had no idea who he was. So it was a pretty funny moment. Like, you meet a famous person, you're like, that's why he probably was like chilling. He's like, these girls don't even know who I am. Like, look how young they are. They don't care. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I don't think we ended up finding anything to do. So we just went back to our Airbnb and was just drinking at home, listening to music, doing a bunch of things that we probably shouldn't have been doing. But it was my 21st, so it's okay. But my camera is about to die, so I'm going to try and end this really fast. I hope you guys enjoyed my little story time here of when I met TYSON Beckford, but had no idea who he was. But if you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up, because that helps me out a lot. Or comment down below if you guys want to see more story times from me, or comment whatever you want down there. I don't really care. I love feedback too, so if you're going to point something out, say something that I did wrong, please do that down below. Share with your homies and subscribe if you'd like to see more of this face. Because I know you do, boo. I know you do. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Working, nature. You ain't got no time to lay up. You just trying to be somebody.